Marshall Faulk, Hall of Famer, one of the smartest football players that I've ever been around. And I figured I'd start with our poll question today. It has to do with Michael Vick, who was named the starter in Philadelphia. Marsh, if I said assess Michael Vick's career as great, good, or disappointing, how would you weigh in on that?
It would be okay if we're talking just football.
Yep.
Nothing about his personal life, because people want to kind of add that into it. Just on the football field, I would say good.
I said good and disappointing because it should be great.
I don't know why you would say great, because I mean he didn't really do that much in college. When you look at the amount of throws that, let's say, RG3 or Russell Westbrook made in college their senior year, I mean, those guys threw the ball. They threw the ball so much. Michael Vick, I think he threw the ball like 200 times compared to they threw the ball almost 500 times. So he came in the league not as an experienced quarterback. So I didn't really have that high of a ceiling for him. The talent, I felt like he could become awesome. So I'm gonna say that I gave him good. I'm gonna stick with good.
Could he have been a good running back?
I don't think he could have taken the hits. It's Michael Vick is not he doesn't have the frame to run the football 20, 30 times a game. Running back is a painful position, Dan.
Well, what about if I said you look at Reggie Bush? If you were going to make Michael Vick a running back, could he be equal to Reggie Bush or better?
Yes, and he would. And I consider Reggie an accessory. He's an accessory running back. He's a guy that you bring in, you run specialty plays with him. He's not an every down back. He's not a guy that you want to have in there every down. He's a guy that you put in, you run some plays for him, you take him out.
Here's a couple of things that I don't understand the Von Miller story. And I know
Me neither.
You work at the NFL now. Exactly. The more I hear, the less I know, Marshall.
Yeah.
Why was he suspended? First, it was 4 games. Then he appealed it. Now it's 6. And from what I'm told, it could have been 8. What happened here?
Dan, I'm with you. Although I work for the NFL, like that's information that we're not privy to. It was 4 games, and I've never heard an appeal getting you more games. It was like they had a plea bargain, and he went back in, and they gave him more games. He rolled the dice or something. I don't know. I have no idea. This one, I'm stumped over this one. I have no idea what it is.
We talked to Adrian Peterson yesterday, and he said he expects to be the all-time leading rusher in NFL history.
I love that. That's a great feat. I mean, Emmitt Smith probably doesn't feel so good about it, but that's what records are there for, man. You go out and you chase them. I remember wanting to be the second guy to have 1,000 rushing, 1,000 receiving. I wanted to be in that elite class. It was something that I wanted to do. When the touchdown record was, I think, 26 or 27, and I broke that record, that was something that I wanted to do, and I set out to do it. And this kid has, he has high, lofty goals, and after watching what he did last year, I know me as a running back who played in the league, I kind of take a back seat and say, well, maybe he can do it. When you talk about rushing for 2,500 yards, I'm like, well, maybe he can do it. I mean, the guy played after having his knee that was torn up the previous season. He came back and rushed for 2,000 yards. That's just unbelievable.
But, Marshall, if I look at the running back position now, it's not what you load up and give a guy, 30 carries, or can you be successful in an offense like that? Because Christian Ponder is not scaring defenses here. So is it because you have to use Adrian Peterson or because you want to use him? There's a difference in that because everybody else is throwing the football 30 times a game.
Yeah, and when you evaluate the running back position, you have to look at how we play the game. And sometimes, and not all the times, the rules dictate how we play the game. The fact that we protect quarterbacks the way that we protect them, that you can't hit him above the neck and you can't hit him below the thigh or you're getting fined, that protects the quarterback. So what do? Hey, so let's throw now. Back in the day, you wouldn't have your quarterback throwing the football 40 times a game because some defensive end or some outside linebacker at some point in time is going to knock his butt out of the game. So you ran the football.
Yes.
You don't have to do that anymore.
Well, yeah, everything favors the quarterback and the offenses. That's why I don't know if he'll get the opportunity to break.
But he will because his quarterback is Christian Ponder.
But eventually they change that, though, Marsh. Right?
Eventually they'll do what?
They'll change quarterbacks. I mean, you're not going to stay with him unless he elevates to being a good quarterback this year. You know, quarterbacks get your window's like 2 or 3 years before they say, all right, next, come on in.
Right now they're riding with Christian Ponder. I mean, he's their guy. And this is funny. As bad as we said that he was last year, you kind of missed him in the playoff game. It was like, where's Christian Ponder?
Well, we looked at Plan B, Marshall. That's why. Yeah, you know, if you had Kirk Cousins going in there,
he was missed, and he was like, "Oh, where is he? He's missed." All of a sudden, you missed Christian Ponder.
I know you're doing NFL Fantasy Draft Week. Give you an opportunity to talk about that before we say goodbye.
Yeah, I'm with SAP. They've provided some software with the NFL. They kind of collabed on this, and they came up with the player comparison tool that now, if you're into fantasy football, instead of reading all these fancy magazines and doing all this stuff, you get on the NFL.com website, you join, you get to use this tool to decide which player you want to play, how does he compare with other players, how does he compare with other players that you have, the weather, you factor in the weather and how your players play in bad weather. There's so many different things to kind of look at before you make your decision on your player, and it's making it easier, and it's making it simpler, and it's making you look smarter. And I know you like looking smart, Dan.
I can't help it, Marshall.
It's just in your look. In your look.
NFL.com fantasy football, if you would like to check this out with what Marshall's involved in. Always good to talk to you. Hope to talk to you soon, Marshall.
Same here. Take care, Dan.
All right, buddy. Marshall Faulk.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.